everybody. My name is Jessica Holyfield, and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we are here taking a look at &TEAM's War Cry. This is a Patreon request. Shout out to Kalish for the request. Now, I believe we should be caught up with &TEAM at the conclusion of this particular analysis. Now that I don't know, I believe Galish was the one who informed me of this, but you guys let me know if I've covered it all. If that's the case, then we get a little extra celebration that'll be in order for this. So we have a music video and a dance practice to look at. I'm excited, I'm ready, I hope you guys are. Let's go. Oh. Come on, fur coat. I see you. Oh, that's cool. Such a different sound. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that was cool. I wonder how that chain link feels on his arm. That must not be comfortable, unless it's not really chain link, but yeah, it's definitely more, it's grungier. It's not similar to their rock sound that we're used to hearing. At least I'm not what I'm used to hearing. Let me hear it here. I think it was the beginning that caught me off guard. Okay. That was cool. I like the oh my gosh. I don't know if that, I'm assuming that's just a special effect that they're doing there. I wonder if it mixed, oh, hold on. Is there more? There is. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I found that interesting where the sound is different than what we're used to hearing, or I'm used to hearing with them. I think it was because of this synth. No, it's just the syncopation of the bass. That's what it is. Okay. And then also how we're, the more, I mean, it's not really an aggressive approach, but the tone is also a different shift than what I'm used to hearing from them too. So I think this, if anything, it allows more people who are, you know, let's say this is their niche of sound that they prefer, that they would be introduced to &TEAM and be able to be more open-minded to other styles that they've showcased as well. So this was really fun. That's a very interesting track. It makes me very intrigued on this dance practice. So here we go. Like this, yes, we're used to hearing. Jogging are cool. It was that. It's the ringing alarm. They would do a jab sequence across with a heel toe. Interesting. I do appreciate the fact they're all in all black with a white room with a light neutral floor. It helps us be able to see a lot of the uniformity. That was really cool. Come on now. He said knee slide across God's green earth. Oh man. I like that. Here we go. Bump. Syncopated. Bop, bop, bop. Stylized hands. Bump. Bump, bump, bump. Tension. Nice. Yep. Right. Oh, stop. That's cool. Subtle head nod looks great. Yep. Nice. Cool. Alright. Ooh. With a fun finish. Now, something I don't know because we've been hopping around Team's discography is I have no idea when this happened. I mean, the only thing, I could find out what year. So this was 2023, almost 2 years ago at this point because we're in 2025 now. So it's interesting that we keep the familiar, the intensity of that with the electric guitar, but also we're very much in the lore in terms of how our formations are structured. It ties into who needs a prop to climb up when you have people, right? And then the stylized hands, of course, is something that is considered a fingerprint at this point when we're going off of a lore sensitive kind of title track, which is really cool. So I'm ready to dive into this. Okay, from the top. So we have one member comes up, he accents out. I like the head rotation around, causing everybody else to come up. Also looks great. Take our arms, we send them out, and then we have some unison to drop in right here going into this intro. So I like that we take it. We promote and we showcase an openness of our chest to shove the arms to the side in order to have one of them connected at the shoulder with the lift up of the legs. Very nice, complementary, but notice how we're allowing a hollow to happen in the chest. We're allowing a curve to happen in the upper back because it sometimes reminds you, I don't know if it reminds you of this, but sometimes when you see werewolves depicted in our modern media, they have this really hunched back, animalistic but human stature, right? So it's like a hybrid in between. So having that posture here makes sense because of their lore. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was a stylized posture choice to make whenever they are lifting in this position. So the scuff is really nice. They scuff it back, and then they use that scuff to reposition the hips. Sometimes if you see, like, let's say a Steve Martin, it practices the hip transition. So that was really nice, but that's not a Steve Martin by any means, but that could be a old school hip hop reference if you wanted to kind of cite that. But they send it around and then causes the hips to rotate. Then they do a kick that kind of not envelopes. That's the opposite of an envelope. So they take it out and they send it down, and then they take the arm forward, complements with the leg to reset to the side, which is also nice. I love the toss on that with the fringe, choreography for days. We love tapping the chest, little uppercut, and I like the chugs with you have your feature in center, and then you have everybody else sending their head down to the corner, and then having their arm all the way down there as well, so it helps us see the stylized hand, and then you have your feature pointing to the front. I like the chugs. And then they present it to the outside, good angles on that. And then they all, boom, drop down, come on with a trace with a wolf hand across, having your next feature come up, the ring the alarm feature. Who knew that was going to throw me off as much as it did, but not in a negative way, just in an interesting, fascinating way where I really wasn't expecting this to come out, right? Like I know that they've explored different styles for sure, but not quite this in this way, if I'm remembering everything right. But alas. Anyway, moving on. He brings it down, boom, the sound. He does a travel up in energy. It does look more like an isolated or staccato influenced energy transfer with the wave. And then I like how he sends his direction over to that right side, and then having everybody also cater to that as well, to that side. Does his head, boom, sends it around. I like the relaxed posture of that reset. It was really cool. He sends it down, we come up, boom. He takes an elbow, everybody else claps it. Looks really nice there. We have a new feature, hello, and then he takes the arms out. Then we have two of our guys go off stage, and then we send the arms out, boom, we toss it, and then we step in front, and then we end up sending the arm down, picking it up to create a nice little muscle energy out of that, and then having your next, it's not even a feature, I just only clocked one person set up on it. Yeah, so my most outlier guy here on the stage left side did look like he was prepping before everybody else, which is what gave me the impression that my eye went here to look at him, right? But I'm just going to assume that's so subtle, and it's a 0.75, it's really not that big of a deal, right? Or it also could be that he did this extra scoop with the arm that we weren't able to see my back member do, and then my other member here didn't do it. I think it's that. So I really love what we're doing here with our jab sequence. That was so fascinating. And then what are we doing with our legs? Oh, it's a roll through on the ball of the foot with a heel toe going on with the other. That's a really nice transition. Love that. And so I like the different levels that we have in play. We have our feature with two others, so he's not super isolated, because it's fine to have an isolated feature, but a lot of times if that's the only type of way you choose to feature, then they can become a bit disconnected at a certain point. So it's nice to have others join in with him, but they are far enough back to know that you do have an outlier within that grouping. So that's cool. They do a little speed change out of it. I like these swings of the arms to get us nice and low and transition off. And then we hit it through. I like that we have our next feature, pop, pop, pop. It definitely has similar arms that we saw in our jabs, but it also felt more like pop, 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 like a gun. So having the kind of mannerism of that was interesting too. We toss it down. I like having my next feature with his arm by his face, which is cool. He, boom, tosses it away. It's nice where everybody has their hair down, because you can really see when they're making a stylized throw of the hair choice, which is nice. And I do appreciate that we have our dancers or our members on the stage left side, nice and ready to go for whatever they need. This is something that reminds me of if you watched D-League with me, Koze 8 Rocks, whenever they would do a breaking set, a lot of times that would be what they would be doing when they're not popping off in center, right? So they do little Supermans, but then they take it Superman, but instead of finishing the second one, they syncopate it, hit, and then they go pop, pop, pop. And I like the fullness of this choice here. It's very interesting. Some of our choices do give a bit of a, make it good, gosh, oh my gosh, like a Choi Young-joon influence, right? Because some of these choices remind me of Seonggong by 17, and Choi Young-joon is the go-to choreographer for them, which is why I can kind of see it here. And of course, I know Team's not under the same company as 17, but a lot of hype labels tend to use a lot of the same choreographers, which is cool. Nothing crazy there. But that's what my guess is there. But I like the pa, pa, pow, and I like the send up there. It's nice. And they end up traveling. They condense the formation. And so everyone's low. See, isolated feature, that works well because we had other options in showcasing our feature. It helps us appreciate when they are isolated. So everyone's down, they hit, pull them back, and then they send it over to the side. Come on with the toss or the breath of the wrist is really nice here, and they extend it up. I like the they send it up. I like the look up to the ceiling or to the upper rafters, right? And the openness of the arms is great. So then you have this that's going on right before in this pre-chorus into the chorus. So I like that we're hitting that, and it looks kind of like our mouth, that like our arms are making a mouth and our head's within it. I don't know if that was our intention, but I do like the intensity of it and the focus of it. So good for them. Nice wide stance. And this was cool where they had one of their arms pull back to leave this as a subtle fixed point, so it feels like a mouth is opening. Really cool, like a war cry. A war cry comes from where? The mouth. A lot of times we can use our body to add an extra percussive element to it, right? But I think that's super cool. But yeah, it's like this send over of the arms here, and then what do we do after that? Let's see. Oh yeah, so they take it up, in. Now this arm is still that fixed point, and then we use this back arm to join in to actually get this arm to deviate away. So that's really cool. And then we take the arms through, out, boom, lining, silver lining, I think is what they're saying. Yeah, silver lining. So it's looking at the great, vast silver lining is kind of what that gives an impression, right? So I like the claw in that, good fullness. I like the tension on the tail end of that as well. Then they take the arms, they bring it through. Are they doing ponies? Let's see. Yeah, I would say a pony in the transition. Yeah, pony, pony. Using that to create a different formation. I'd say the transition is nice. It's balanced on both sides where everybody's going. I like the send through of the shoulders. It looks great there. The cross, the little step across looks really nice. I like the toss. Not really toss, but the striking of the arms. And then they take the arm, they send it up and around, and then they pull, grabbing their pants. They go and they pull it up with the hips. Is a really nice choice. And then you have, there's just a lot of different subtle texture shifts, which I really appreciate. There is a lot of unison as well, but what makes it stand out is they're really going off of, look at how cool it looks for us to do it all together. Their synchronicity is really a commendable, captivating quality. So you can get away with more uniformity because in order to appreciate the synchronicity, you got to be uniform in some capacities, right? So it's very nice to see it. It doesn't bother me too much. Like they do these tiny deviations with your feature, but because they're so clean, you're able to catch it so quickly, which could also contribute to the fact that it still feels very much like a heartbeat, but they're not having to make really big choices dynamically in order to show that heartbeat, which goes back to they're known for that synchronicity element. We can see it here. I've seen it in most of their stuff, so it's pretty safe to say. I really like the tension with the buildup on that. Looks like some of us are using a little body roll, which I appreciate for that, with the arms coming up. And it looks like we're doing a little rooftop, where they, not even a Juby slide or anything, but the viral sense of a Juby slide where they travel it. It's just, I would equate it more to a rooftop based on what Olchan was referencing in one of his feedbacks for Red Bull Dancer Style when he qualified in it. So the tension's really fun there. So they hit it, and I like that they use the arms to create a sense of opening as they use that to transition from one side to another. Then they toss the arms. I like the double to the single to the double, and it looks like an add-on there. So let's look. Yeah, so it's double, single, double, and then they take the arms, they toss them back to the front, which looks great. They're low, new features in center. Come on with the breath, and I like that. That's so fun. Boom, can you feel it? Boom, and they use the arm to help recognize that sound, but to promote more intensity to help aid with their feature. That's super cool. And I like that. Come on, Fringe. And then they end up doing a subtle knee slide enough to promote some sense of pressure forward without super transitioning it. And I like that they all send their leg over to the corner as well. They take the arms over, and then it looks like they're about to scratch their leg, so they cater it to both sides. Then they have their arm connected to the neck there. New feature, he ends up, doing a little tap assist to get the next feature. Okay, you can clock out now. I'll take it over from here. So they end up using some of them are using a slide, some are just using that crouch position to transition to a lunge, to all the way up in the transition. And then now they're getting ready. They're grabbing into we don't quite know what it is. It's just a little blob formation so far, but we know what it ends up being, which is cool. Because we see somebody slowly ascend our cliff, our Pride Rock, right? And so I like the tension from our feature. He takes it hit. So what's nice is our feature is not being used as a distraction. It's a collaboration between a transition happening with the crawl up. It feels like our feature is narrating what's going on in the prop, not the prop because they're people, right? But the formation with the crawl up. It's what it gives an impression. Now, I can't really clock or remember what the words are, but could that be a possibility? Maybe. But that's why it doesn't feel like we're combating our rock section and our not rock like the style, but rock like the actual physical rock, right? So it doesn't feel combative is my point, which is cool. I like that he has this moment, boom, we drop down. I really like that we have everybody, boom, still be connected in some way, but more so in a access point where you can kind of crawl underneath and slide, which is exactly what we see. He says knee slide. Come on now. No, everybody's facing that stage right side. And it was really cool that it looks like our feature is taking this slinky-like formation and just absorbing it. It's cool. That's cool into a column. Really fun way to showcase intensity but force a transition. It's really nice. So come on with the stylized hands, all facing different directions. Really nice new features out in center. So they accent over, so it kind of looks like we're about to, we're about to eat it up. We're about to go for it, right? So I like the swing downs or the accent downs, which is really cool. Then good intensity using the head with the fringe. Helps with that as an indicator, and then the body is nice and full for that as well. So I like that we take it, we all send it to the outside, we open it up to the inside, and having your next features switch off, boom, boom. I like the interruptions in how he chooses to travel to the neck and across the body is really nice, and I like this little bites and little nips in with everybody else, making it a little bit more condensed, going closer to the middle of the formation, which is cool. So then they take the arms, boom, and they end up having them cross like that. So they drop it low. Come on. It definitely gives a defeated pose. Normally when you see people in that position, they're like, oh man, they look downcast. So it definitely has that vibe about it, right? So they cross, uncross. So I like that. They're going off of syllables for that. And then they take the arms down, and then they still have them up and crossed. And they build it up 1 and 2 and 3, and they open it up and they switch it, boom. Now instead of this choice of choreography that we saw in the first course, instead of it being projected to us, it's projected to the side. It's cool. So it actually allows you to appreciate the formation, because if you look, it is 3 beautiful diagonals. Mwah, we love it. We're totally here for it. Thank you. So they end up taking it through, boom, da-da-da-doom, and they open up, just like what we've already encountered. The tension is really nice, where it has an accent where its speed changes to have this molasses syrup travel through kind of perspective where it's still tense, and it requires effort to continue on that speed change, right? And I like that with the ponies, they condense it and travel it. It looks like to the back corner, to the diagonals. Yeah, so now it turns into I'm going to call that a pyramid, which is a filled in triangle, because you have this shape, right? But then you have people on the inside, so that's why it would be a pyramid, right? That's cool. So I like the swims of the shoulders. His knock is cool. We toss it around, which is what we're here for, and then we bring it up. Boom, shoulder accent is nice. They hit, little rooftop energy again. Good intensity, just like what we've seen already. Then we do the swims of the arms up and over with the kicks, and then we take the arms with the toss out. Come on now. Now instead of, we have our feature in the middle, but they're further in the back, and it in the formation of everybody else is also not, it looks like we're on the back end of it instead of on the front end of the formation, which is cool. So they drop low. I like the toss of the fringe. Yep, all of this is the same. We love it, but I like that you had your feature pull up, look like a subtle fix plate, isn't it? And they take it, boom, rotate it to the back. This is cool. So they go, and they go to a little Z-set ripple, and then you have your next feature rotate, but not go into the Z-set. That's cool. That's cool stuff. So come on, tension, and I love that you have this hum in the back, and then you have everybody slowly ascend from that. That's really nice, where you still have 3 levels represented, but no level is completely still. I would say the only one would be my full standing one, right? So yeah, he's the only one, but then he accents his head to match everybody else. So now he's on his knees. Come on, angsty moment. And he has, boom, his French also totally sells that as well. So he tosses it down. New feature. Come on, angsty moment. And so he's in the center. Everybody else is in more of a, like the I'm reading a book in the park, but I'm cool kind of pose is what that looks like, right? So I like the French knockdown. Then they're all nice and prepped. Boom, they send the hips up. I like that. Everybody's spacing is pretty similar on this with the arm hugged over the body, and then they end up taking that and using that as a momentum to get up in a little mini bridge recover, and then they hit it down, boom, boom. Looks like they have their hands, boom, right there, inserted into the pockets. They travel it up, boom, boom, boom. I like the bases on that. Let me see where they're centering the energy. Yeah, they travel it up, syncopated, and then knock. Oh my gosh, I still missed it again, Jess. Oh, it looks like they're legs. I'm going to say legs and chest. So the tosses are nice, and notice they're subtly expanding the formation on this. And they punch it through, ta-sa-ta, like the shoulders on that, and they end up creating more of a box frame, which is cool, but notice stylized hands, which is nice. And they hit it up, up, down. They end up doing a body roll, which is also nice, and they send the arm forward. They switch it, and then they expand it, and then they take, oh my gosh, a roar cry. Oh man, why am I missing this? They insert it down, ball change it. Oh, it's because it's so subtle with like how they're deviating with the leg. Then they take the arms out, and then they take them accented, syncopated. Come on, punch. Come on, subtlety in the levels. So you have a lower level, a mid-level, and then they're a little bit up higher. But everybody's legs are pretty similar, except for, of course, your lower levels. They have to be a little bit further in order to give that impression, but still be low. That's a cool shot right there. That was cool. Subtle, but effective. Come on now with the turn. So the scoops are nice. Then they take the hand to the mouth, and then they travel those arms up, and then they boom, go over to the sides. I like that they're looking in the direction they're subtly traveling to or transitioning to. And then you have a 2, a 2, and a 5. We love that. Nothing crazy there. And then they go cry. They take the shoulders up and down, and then they're done with a little bounce, 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 bounce to finish. That was really nice. Good job, guys. Like this was really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think that this is a fantastic way of potentially being caught up with Team. So in the event that a marathon is completed, meaning if I've tackled a discography of a group that wasn't a part of a normal marathon, but through a Patreon requested pool, which is what Team is considered, then they are going to be equated to the upkeep section of my Patreon and YouTube, meaning when they come out with new stuff, no more Patreon requests are needed or required. I'll be able to just take a look for all future Team stuff. So if that is in fact true, that we've covered all of Team, then we can start doing that when they come out with new stuff. But I had a lot of fun. Galish, thank you so much, as well as so many others who have been requesting Team over the past many months. It's been such a privilege to get to dive into a group like this, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to do in the future. Y'all know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.